Hello, David here. Welcome to my weekly album review show in which I talk about the albums I listened to this week. First up, I listened to Van Morrison, Hard Knows the Highway. This is one from 1973. And the first song on this album is Snow and Anselmo, and this one's fantastic. I really love that song. Yeah, it just has a great sound. There's like a choir singing backing vocals in this. It's quite unexpected. When you hear it at first, it's very unusual, but it's great. And then it goes into these fantastic jazzy saxophone breaks, which just sounds so good. Yeah, that was such a nice song. He also does Warm Love. That was another good one, and another song, Green, which is a song that was made famous by Kermit the Frog. Yeah, he does a good version of that song. He also does Purple Heather, which the Byrds had done a version of that one previously, but that's also another nice one. Okay, after that one I listened to U2, How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb. That's from 2004, and this has starts off with Vertigo, and also it has Sometimes You Can't Make It on Your Own, Crumbs from Your Table, and also Miracle Drug. Yeah, it's not quite as good as their earlier stuff, but yeah, it's all right. Yeah. Okay. After that one, I listened to Thin Lizzy, Vagabonds of the Western World, and that's another one from 1973, and it's their third album, and this one was just absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I loved this one, and yeah, it was great. Yeah. The band at that time was Phil Lynott on bass, Eric Bell on guitar, and Brian Downey on drums. And yeah, just the whole sound of it is just so nice. Yeah, it has some good harmonies, good playing. Just a great sound of that album. This one has The Hero and the Madman, the title track Vagabonds of the Western World. One that was just absolutely fantastic, outstanding song, Little Girl in Bloom. That was such a nice song, yeah. Just great harmonies on that one, yeah. And another one was A Song for While I'm Away. Yeah, so I think that album was so good. Yeah, that was great. After that one, I listened to Nancy Sinatra and Lee Hazelwood. This one is Nancy and Lee 3, and the first Nancy Sinatra and Lee Hazelwood came out in the 60s, and then they had a second one, that Nancy and Lee Again, also known as Did You Ever, which came out in 1972, I think, and yeah, this one's the third one that they've done together. And they also got back with their old arranger, Billy Strange. He helped them with this one, yeah. He helped produce it. Yeah, this one's it's a nice one. It's got like Barricades and Brick Walls, After the Lovin'. Also, they do a Neil Sedaka song, The Hungry Years, which is good. They do Save the Last Dance for Me, which has kind of like mariachi trumpets and that. And also another song, She Won't, which features Dwayne Eddy on guitar. And yeah, it's a nice song, but yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. From yeah, Lee Hazelwood's great. Yeah. After that one, I listened to Seven by Soft Machine, another one from 1973, and this one's a great kind of proggy jazz one, very unusual time signatures. It's completely instrumental, but yeah, it kind of goes up all over the place, very bizarre kind of keyboard stuff. This one has Mike Ratledge on keyboards, John Marshall on drums, Roy Babington on bass, and Carl Jenkins on oboe, saxophone and recorder. And I think only one of the guys from the original Soft Machine was with them at this point. It was quite a different band from the original one. Yeah, but it's got a very, very nice sound to it, yeah. They do things like Nettlebed, Carol Ann, Bonefire, Penny Hitch and Down the Road. So yeah, that was a good one. Okay, after that one I listened to a compilation album. This one is the Ultimate Retro Collection Part 3, and this came out in 1999, and a lot of good songs on this one. It's got Our House by Madness, Adam and the Ants, Stand and Deliver, XTC, Making Plans for Nigel, Billy Idol, Flesh for Fantasy, The Cars, Let's Go, ABC, The Night You Murdered Love, Panic by the Smiths, and The Eton Rifles by The Jam. Yeah, there's 34 tracks on this one. It's a double disc, and it's quite a good one for late 70s, early 80s kind of retro stuff. Yeah, so that's quite good. Yeah. Okay, after that one I listened to one from Cliff Richard. This was Cliff Sings, and this one's one from 1959. This was his second album, and it's quite different from the first. The first one was a live album, whereas this second one, half the songs are done with the Shadows and the other half are done with Norrie Paramor conducting the orchestra. And both sides of the record have start off with four songs by the Shadows and then 4 songs with the orchestra. So it's kind of unusual that way, yeah. But they do Blue Suede Shoes, Here Comes Summer, the Gershwin song Embraceable You, 20 Flight Rock, Little Things Mean a Lot, and That's My Desire. So it's kind of like half rocking, half ballads. Yeah, but it's got a very nice sound to that one, yeah. I like that one. After that one I listened to All Alone by Frank Sinatra. This was from 1962, and had Gordon Jenkins as the conductor and arranger on this one. And it's another very slow songs, very melancholy album, this one. But I think all the songs are done in waltz time for this album. But yeah, I like these kind of ones by Frank Sinatra. It's got songs such as The Girl Next Door, Are You Lonesome Tonight, What'll I Do, Oh How I Miss You Tonight, and The Song Is Ended. So I like the sound on that album. It was good. After that I listened to one from Joni James called I Feel a Song Coming On, another one from 1962, and it has such things as Fly Me to the Moon, in other words, Lullaby of Birdland, On the Sunny Side of the Street, Basin Street Blues, and I Got It Bad and That Ain't Good. And that was another nice one, yeah, from Joni James. Okay, after that was Bob Dylan, the Freewheelin' Bob Dylan from 1963, and yeah, this one was Bob Dylan's second album, And his first album wasn't very successful at first, but I think it was only when Peter, Paul and Mary did a cover of Blowing in the Wind that he really, this album really took off, yeah. And it has some really, really great songs on this one, like Blowing in the Wind, Girl from the North Country, Masters of War, Don't Think Twice, It's All Right, Bob Dylan's Dream, and Karina Karina. And it's pretty much all just Bob Dylan, acoustic guitar and harmonica, except for Karina Karina, which does have some electric guitar and bass, yeah. But yeah, Girl from the North Country just has such a nice sound to it, yeah. Yeah, he does some humorous songs too on this album, like Talking World War III Blues, and the last song, I Shall Be Free. So yeah, that's a good one. Freewheelin' Bob Dylan. After that one, I listened to another Bob Dylan album. This one's Real Live, and that's a live one from 1984. It has Mick Taylor from the Rolling Stones on guitar, Ian McLagan, the guy from the Faces, on keyboard, Greg Sutton on bass, Colin Allen plays drums on this one, and Carlos Santana plays guitar on Tombstone Blues on this album. Yeah, so he does Highway 61 Revisited on this. He does two songs from the just recently released Infidels, I and I and License to Kill. He does a version of Tangled Up in Blue, which is actually quite different from the original one from Blood on the Tracks. He really changes the lyrics a lot in this. So yeah, completely different lyrics for this one, yeah, Tangled Up in Blue. And he also does Ballad of a Thin Man. So yeah, most of these are done with the band, but one or two of them are just Bob Dylan on acoustic guitar and harmonica. So yeah, that's a good one from 1984, Real Live. Okay, after that I listened to another one from the Rolling Stones. This is the Rolling Stones Now, and that's from 1965, and has such things as Everybody Needs Somebody to Love, the Chuck Berry song You Can't Catch Me. It's got Heart of Stone. That's a fantastic sounding one, yeah. Heart of Stone's great. Down the Road a Piece, and Little Red Rooster, which is a really good one. Yeah, so they weren't writing all their material at that stage, just a few of them. But yeah, that's quite nice, that one. Okay, after that one I listened to June Christy. This one was Big Band Specials from 1962. And this was with a big band, and has Is You Is or Is You Ain't My Baby, Prelude to a Kiss, Night in Tunisia, It Don't Mean a Thing, and also Stomping at the Savoy. So that was a nice one from June Christy. And after that one I listened to The Wonderful World Of by Julie London, and this was from 1963. And this was a kind of slightly different from her previous ones, in that some of her vocals were double tracked on this. And she does Can't Get Used to Losing You. She does A Taste of Honey, Little Things Mean a Lot, Love for Sale, and one I really liked was When Snowflakes Fall in the Summer. So yeah, that was a nice one. After that one, I listened to Peggy Lee. This was I'm a Woman, and that's from 1963. And she does the Alley Cat song, Mac the Knife, You're Nobody Till Somebody Loves You, I Left My Heart in San Francisco. She does another, this is another one with a version of A Taste of Honey. She does that one as well. And it also has One Note Samba, which is another one that Astrid Gilberto actually did before. So that was good. After that, I listened to this one's the Moody Blues, Days of Future Past, and that's from 1967. And yeah, the Moody Blues, they had a hit previously with the single Go Now, and they had an album out before this, but they weren't doing so well, and they got rid of the guitarist and bass player that they had, and they were replaced by Justin Hayward on guitar and John Lodge on bass, and the band just went in a completely different direction, less piano, and Mike Pinder actually got a Mellotron, and this really put them in a completely different direction. But this album they did with the London Festival Orchestra, conducted by Peter Knight, and it's quite unusual for an album in that it's got a lot of orchestral stuff between the Moody Blues songs, and yeah, it kind of makes you feel like it should be like an animated kind of cartoon thingy. It's kind of like, reminds me of Watership Down kind of thing. Yeah, you get a good feeling from this album, and it's like a bit of a concept album where it goes through a whole day. Starts off, the day begins, there's dawn, the morning, lunch break, the afternoon, evening, and the night, and it goes through this whole day. There's some poetry on this that starts and ends the album, and has Dawn as a Feeling, written by Mike Pinder. There's Peak Hour, one from John Lodge. Side 2 has Forever Afternoon, Tuesday, and that's Justin Hayward one, and that's just fantastic. Yeah, I really love that one. Yeah. The Sunset, another Mike Pinder song, and then there's Twilight Time from Ray Thomas, and the real highlight of the album that really stands out, that's just so great, is Nights in White Satin, and that was written by Justin Hayward, and that was a big hit, and it's such a nice sounding song. Yeah. So yeah, this is one of the first ever albums I got, and I first got this one in 1986. Yeah, and yeah, I really like this one, the Days of Future Past. Okay, after that I listened to Nancy Wilson, Today My Way, and that's from 1965, and that's another nice one from Nancy Wilson, and it starts off with the Bacharach song, Reach Out For Me. It's got Dear Heart, You've Lost That Love and Feeling, Love Has Many Faces, and If I Ruled the World. And yeah, that was a nice album. After that one, I listened to Julie London. This is called Julie, and that's one from 1958. And has Somebody Loves Me, Bye Bye Blackbird, When the Red Robin Comes Bobbing Along, Back Home Again in Indiana, and Midnight Sun. Those are just a few of those. Yeah, that's another nice one. Yeah, I like that one. Okay, after that one I listened to one from the Fifth Dimension, and this was The Magic Garden from 1968. And this is an album I really, really like, and most of the songs are written by Jimmy Webb. He wrote all the songs except for one. They do a cover of the Beatles' Ticket to Ride, which is a fantastically funky version, yeah. But yeah, the Fifth Dimension are just so good at harmonies. There's Marilyn McCoo, Florence LaRue, Lamont McLemore, Billy Davis Jr. and Ron Townsend. The five of them all do great vocals, and there's a great there's a great kind of balance between the male and female vocals on the Fifth Dimension albums. Yeah. Yeah, there's 12 tracks on this album. It has a short prologue and an epilogue at the end too. Yeah, it's got tracks like The Magic Garden, Carpet Man, which I think was a single, The Girls Song, which I think might have been another single, and Paper Cup, and that's a good one. And the one I really like on this album is Requiem, 820 Latham. That's such a nice sounding one. It's a very unusual kind of sound to it, and it's mainly one of the guys singing, but it's such a great song. Yeah, Richard Harris also did a version of that song on his My Boy album. But yeah, Fifth Dimension, The Magic Garden, that's a good album. Okay, after that one I listened to the Supremes, Merry Christmas, and this one was from 1965, and has a lot of traditional Christmas songs on. I think side one tended to be more slow songs, and side two the more faster ones. They do things like White Christmas, The Little Drummer Boy, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, My Favourite Things. Yeah, that's ones from The Sound of Music. They do Joy to the World, and they also do a Jimmy Webb song on this album called My Christmas Tree, which was quite nice, yeah. After that one, the last one I listened to was Nina Simone, Let It All Out, and this was from 1966, and yeah, this one was fantastic. I really like this album. Yeah, she's got some of her songs are just kind of so haunting with her voice. It just sounds so great, and she's a great pianist herself. Yeah, her playing's quite nice. On this one she has The Other Woman. That was such a nice slow ballad. Love Me or Leave Me, Don't Explain. That was another slow ballad that was good. She does Little Girl Blue, and also, yeah, an unusual one for her I thought was the Ballad of Hollis Brown. This one wasn't done with piano, but with a guitar backing, and this is a cover of a Bob Dylan number. But yeah, a really nice version of Bob Dylan's Ballad of Hollis Brown. And yeah, that was a good album, Nina Simone, Let It All Out. And that's the last one. So thanks for watching my weekly album review, and hope to see you again next time. Bye.